Service members can communicate shore overseas. I used Google Fi when I was in Japan, when I was in Bahrain, when I was in Greece. I used Google Fi. It works all over the world. You can use whatever service that you want. But you know, if I was in Japan, Jessica could call me. I'm in Bahrain, Jessica can call me.
Hey guys, welcome back. It's me again, Jessa and Travis.
Hindi tayo doon eh. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a minute since we've done a video. This video is actually comes up because one of our subscribers had asked a question, and it's a very good question. And I think it's one that we've talked about briefly, but I'm gonna go a little more in depth with it. And the question was, how do I communicate with my service member of any branch when they're deployed? So how does that look? What do you do? How do you get a hold of them? What's official communication? What's non-official communication? And I'm gonna let you know, okay? So every branch deploys differently. So straight off the bat, so we're talking about, you know, Navy, Army, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, National Guard. So all these branches, they do different types of deployments. I'm gonna speak more on the Navy because it's what I know, but I do have many friends in different branches where it does apply, and I'll let you know if it does apply. But specifically speaking, so what's important when it comes to communicating with your significant other? And I wanna really stress what they need from you, okay? Service members are under a great deal of stress. And I don't care what your rank is, you're under a significant deal of stress, whether you're on a shore duty command in the United States, on a shore duty command overseas, to a deployable unit overseas and actually being forward deployed naval or any kind of force that's forward deployed downrange, doing whatever they're doing, okay? The most important thing is for you, whether you have a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever the case may be, is you are there for them. And I cannot stress that enough. You are their support system. And I am speaking right from the heart and right from my experience. You are our support system. We need you. It's not that we want you, which we probably do, right? You know, if you have a significant other, like, just, yes, I want you. But we need you. More importantly, I wanna get that across. Your sailor, Marine, Airmen, National Guardsmen, they need your support. I'm gonna give you an example of a deployment and how you can communicate with a sailor. All official emails will go through a .mil or a .gov email address, okay? That's official email. If you're getting letters from commands for leave and all the other scamming stuff, it's not official. If they're going through a Gmail, it's not official. Don't believe it. I just wanted to caveat that real quick. Okay, we're pushing that out the way. Okay, so your military member is gonna have a .mil, .gov email, and that is how you can communicate through official deployments. So, for example, if Jessa wants to communicate with me and I'm on a ship, right? The big gray floaty things it's really hard to communicate. There's no cell phone service. She's best to communicate through official email. So my email might be something at usnavy.mil. Okay, so that is going to be huge. You know, getting an email from your spouse or significant other, you know, every day, send them an email. You know, because that little, you know, like, hey babe, how you doing? I really hope work's going well. I really miss you and I can't wait to see you and talk to you again. I hope you can reply to this email soon. Something like that is just, I cannot explain in words how far that goes for morale, to just bring you up. You know, if every day I go into work and I check my email, right? It's the first thing I do, because a lot of times I've got schedules and stuff to meet and I'm emailing people, and then I see that special email from my wife, right? And just those sweet words, I mean, they can change a person's attitude, outlook, day, deployment. I mean, it literally means the world. And I'm being honest with you, that means the world. So even though communication might be slim on a deployment, send as much communication as you can via official email, all right? Because there's some times where deployments, we can't get on Gmail, we can't get on Yahoo Mail, or whatever mail server, Hotmail server that you use, we can't get on it because we're logging in with our cat card under an official email. And as long as you're keeping those emails PG, you're good to go. Like, no nudes through official emails, okay? Just putting that out there. Don't send nudes through official emails. They will get flagged. So keep your emails PG. You're communicating with your spouse. It's 100% acceptable and very highly encouraged. So those things mean a lot. So when as far as going downrange and deployments and being forward deployed naval forces and not being able to communicate via phone, those official emails are going to be absolutely imperative that you use that, okay? You can also send care packages, which means that your service member will be able to give you an address to his ship, maybe a downrange deployment, whether they're, depending on what country they're in, okay? We do get mail. And you can send us beef jerky and all that other stuff, right? That you typically wouldn't find on a ship, you know? Hey, I want some nachos or I'm sorry, not nachos, Doritos. I want some Doritos or something. Hey, can you send me a bag of jerky? I need some protein bars. I need some whey protein. Can you send me a shaker cup? Send it to, you know, my name, this address. And then eventually it'll get to a ship, it'll get downrange, etc. You can send letters. Just know it is snail mail, meaning it's very slow to get to us. But it will eventually get to us. Now, to caveat that again, scammers will try to be like, you know, you can send mail. You know, I'm gonna send you a box full of money. No, don't do that. That's called money laundering. They're using you as a money meal. Don't give up your account information to different scammers or anything. This video is specifically for you and your significant other, how to communicate downrange. Just know, service members can communicate shore overseas. I used Google Fi when I was in Japan, when I was in Bahrain, when I was in Greece. I used Google Fi. It works all over the world. You can use whatever service that you want, but you know, if I was in Japan, Jessa could call me. I'm in Bahrain, Jessa can call me. The only time Jessa wouldn't be able to call me is if I'm on a ship. And you would have to call your spouse. So we do have phones on ships. However, one, do they always work? No. Can they always work? No. And it depends on what condition the ship is in, whether you're allowed to call and have communication outgoing. Let me tell you this, if you're on a ship, if you're downrange, there are moments and times, and it can be extended, where there's no communication whatsoever, okay? And this is determining what is going on with the mission and its function. And operational security wise, they cannot tell you where they are, they cannot tell you where they're going, they cannot tell you what ports they're pulling into, they cannot disclose any information, okay? If you disclose operational security information through an official line of communication, the captain will find out, okay? And he can change that schedule. Okay, so OPSEC, we call it operational security, is very, very much protected. I can't email my spouse, say, hey, we're gonna be pulling in to Japan on Thursday at this time, right? If that gets out, right, that means there's too much risk involved with pulling in because it was just sent out over here. Maybe your spouse is talking on Facebook, now it's on Facebook. Now anyone that wanted to possibly pose a threat to the ship now knows the time, location, and date that we're pulling in, and it's too much. That's called operational security. So they can't tell you certain things, but you can exchange words, you know, hey, I had a great day, this is what I did today, you know. Obviously don't disclose anything that, any kind of systems and stuff that could be compromised through the official email. But you know, you can let them know, hey, I had a great day, you know, I ate this at the galley, it was super dry, I didn't like my dry chicken, I had to dip it in water, blah, blah, blah. But you can talk to your deployed service members. You can talk to your overseas shore duty service members, you can do that, okay? And this video really isn't about scams, but if they're saying that they can't, then there might be some questions about what's going on there. Maybe they don't want to talk to you. I don't know why they wouldn't want to. But in a perfect world, there are ways to communicate, okay? Now, some of your junior service members may not know this, okay? So if they're lower in rank and they're just not sure, have them talk to their chain of command so they can figure out, hey, I'm married, I'd like to communicate with my wife. I'm telling you, the branches of the military go out of their way to help service members and families. Morale, Recreation, Morale, Welfare and Recreation, MWR, for the military actually goes out of their way to provide multiple services to the service members. Like, for example, when I was on deployment and you had children, the MWR would do a book reading where you could film your book reading for your child, just like we're doing now, and then they would put it on a CD and then they would send it off and say, Merry Christmas, here's a video from Dad, Forward Deployed Naval Forces, Japan, right? And then, you know, they would open it and they could play it on their TV for their children, and hey, look, it's their dad reading them a book for Christmas. And I think that's pretty awesome. We have a lot of amazing support services for the military, and it is 100% you're able to communicate with your spouse. It is hard. It is not easy. Being a military spouse is one of probably the hardest things ever. And just know, if you're a civilian, right, and you don't understand your service member's job, just ask them. Ask them, help me understand. Like me and Jessa, we talk all the time. I let her know, this is my job, this is what can happen. If I don't answer my phone, this is probably what I'm doing. But I can't just be like, hey, don't talk to me, I'm busy. Right? I don't agree. This is remember, it takes two to tango, y'all. So make sure that your service member, you ask the right questions to your service member, you know, and so they can explain to you their job. If their job is secret, let them know, hey, I work in a classified area, I can't answer my phone, that's why I don't. And there are people who work in classified areas where they can't have a cell phone, but you might be able to email their Nipper account or something like that. Like, hey, are you getting off work anytime soon, babe? And then send that email to their official email, and he could be like, oh yeah, sorry, my phone's at the outside, right? You can still communicate through those lines of communication if you know how to. And knowing how to is asking those right questions, whether you're the service member to your chain of command or whether you're the spouse civilian to your service member, okay? So there's lots of ways that you can do it. I didn't want to make this video too long. I hope it was informative. If there's any comments or questions, please, leave them in the comments below. And just know that you are your support, you are your service member support system. It's hard being the support, and it's hard being, the service member. So it takes both of you communicating all the time, okay? You're gonna have fights, it happens. Not every relationship is perfect, we understand that. But it is very imperative that you understand the high stress that a deployed service member is under. Or even like myself, I'm on a shore duty command here, but it's very high stress, right? I could go into a ton of reasons why it's high stress, but I'll just let you know it's high stress, and it always is. It's high stress for me, which means it's gotta be high stress for the subordinates below me, right? All my sailors that I am in charge of. It's high stress for them too, okay? And we try to make it easier for them because, we are the first line of defense. We are those war fighters. We are here to protect our communities and serve our country proudly, right? And we can't do that if we don't have that mental toughness and if we're not ready to engage a threat if it ever happens. So again, you also are the first line of defense at your home, okay? It's very important you understand that, because if you are mentally sound, then you can go ahead and perform your duties. But if someone is not mentally sound, they're having a hard time at home, how can I rely on that service member when they're so worried about you, or they're worried about maybe their children, right? So it's really important. Keep that line of communications open. Be willing to communicate. Ask your chain of command for help. Know that the military has a plethora of support services for families, kids, military members, through and through. And I'm talking about family counseling. We have child development centers. We have chaplains that are willing to talk 24/7 with these sailors, airmen, Marines, soldiers. So we have a lot of services that are available. And they're always available. There's never a time where they're not available. Okay, so don't think that you're just in the dark by yourself if you're a service member or you're a civilian, right? You need help. And if you are married, know there's what's called an ombudsman for the Navy side. I'm not sure what the Marine Corps and I'm not sure, I'm sorry, what the Air Force or the Army calls them. The Navy calls them ombudsman. And that's a civilian that takes care of the spouses and the family. So if you ever have a problem, you can go to the ombudsman. They're in direct communication with the command master chiefs that are high up in the triad of the command, and they can disseminate information to the spousal groups or anything if there's like an issue that arises. Sorry, I kind of got off on a little tangent. Again, thank you for watching. I hope this was informative. Please leave your comments or questions in the comments below. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And thank you for the 12,000 plus subscribers. And I really hope you found this video to be informational. And I will definitely love to hear if you guys have any more questions about how to communicate or etc. or if this video covered and answered your questions. So thank you so much.